As the year comes to a close, the lists recapping everything we experienced for 2023 are starting to surface. Today, it's Spotify Wrapped, an annual list that combs through music listening history around the world, breaking down top artists, genres, and songs, and more. We'll give you one guess at who was crowned the winner this year.
It's me. Hi.
That's right, it's her. Taylor Swift is Spotify's 2023 most played artist.
Best believe I'm still bejeweled when I walk in the room. I can still make the whole place shimmer.
According to Spotify Wrapped, Swift was 2023's most streamed artist globally, raking in more than 26.1 billion streams since January 1st. That means the pop powerhouse has dethroned Puerto Rican superstar Bad Bunny, who held the coveted title for 3 years in a row, beginning in 2020.
Hey, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias.
Bad Bunny took the number 2 slot in 2023, followed by The Weeknd in 3rd, Drake in 4th, and Mexican musician Peso Pluma in 5th. It's not such bad news for Bad Bunny, however. His 2022 album Un Verano Sin Ti was Spotify's most streamed album for the second year in a row, raking in 4.5 billion global streams. In the album category, Taylor Swift's Midnight trails in 2nd, with SZA's SOS in 3rd. All top 3 albums were released last year. The top 5 is rounded out with The Weeknd's 2016 album Starboy and Karol G's Mañana Será Bonito, the only 2023 release to reach the peak. Miley Cyrus's anthem Flowers nabbed Spotify's most streamed song of the year with 1.6 billion streams globally. Kill Bill by SZA is the second most streamed song of the year, while Harry Styles' As It Was, BTS member Jungkook's 7, Esteban Armado and Peso Pluma's Ella Baya Sola came in 3rd, 4th, and 5th respectively. In the U.S. specifically, Swift's dominance continued. She was the most streamed artist in the U.S. on Spotify, followed by Drake and country star Morgan Wallen. Wallen's Last Night was the most streamed song, and his One Thing at a Time was the most streamed album. Earlier this week, Apple Music announced Wallen's Last Night topped its global song chart in 2023. It's been a banner year for the song, which has also stayed atop the Billboard Hot 100 for 16 weeks, tying Luis Fonsi, Daddy Yankee, and Justin Bieber's Despacito for the title of second longest reign in the Hot 100's 65-year history. As for Apple Music Artist of the Year, you guessed it, Taylor Swift nabbed that spot too. To talk a little bit more about Spotify Wrapped, we're joined now by Devon Powers, professor of communication and media at the University of Michigan. Devon, first and foremost, why has Spotify Wrapped become so insanely popular?
I think Spotify Wrapped just encapsulates a lot of things that people really love, which is it gives this little window into your history for the last year. And you can kind of see, oh, I remember when I was really into that song. And, oh, that was a really fun time in my life or a sad time in my life. And then you can share it. You can compare it with other people. You can debate what's right about it and what's wrong about it. So it's just kind of become this phenomenon that everybody loves to talk about and share and think about at the end of the year.
Why does music have such a power to bring people together?
Well, I think music does a lot of things. And one of the things that it does is that it teaches us how to be human, if you listen to a love song, if you listen to Taylor Swift lyrics, if you've never been through a breakup, when you do go through a breakup, you have some way of understanding that because you're listening to that song. And then it does that at scale. So it's not just you listening to it, it's thousands and thousands of other people having a similar kind of experience. So whether that's at a live show where everybody's, singing along, or that's at something like Spotify Wrapped or streaming where you can just see, what 1 billion people have listened to the song that I'm listening to. It really makes you feel kind of, one with with humanity, you know? You just feel like part of a group.
When streaming services first debuted, artists struggled to use them to their benefit. Has Spotify Wrapped helped artists become more marketable?
I think it has helped some artists become more marketable. You know, streaming still works that the winners win and the losers lose, by which I mean, like, you know, if you're Drake, if you're Taylor Swift, you know, if you're Halsey or something like that, you're going to be getting the lion's share of the attention. You know, you're kind of the big, you know, popular people that everybody sees. And, you know, for smaller artists, that can still be really hard. But I think when you take something like Spotify and you marry it to something like TikTok, where it's so easy for people to go viral and you don't necessarily have to be kind of a Beyonce style artist in order to reach that level, I do think that there's some real power for marketing there.
You mentioned Taylor Swift, and today she was crowned the Global Streaming Artist of the Year on Spotify, and she was also named Apple Music's Artist of the Year. What's been the key to her huge success over the past year?
Oh gosh. I mean, Taylor Swift is absolutely inescapable. And it's one of those things that I think is a feedback loop. So even if you are not a fan of Taylor Swift, even if you have tried to kind of not really listen to her music, this was the year that you could not avoid her. And that was because of her tour, you know, and all the frenzy around her tour with being able to, you know, the difficulties that people faced getting tickets, the lengths that they went to, the amount of money people spent, people following her around, all of that creates massive publicity. And then her relationship with Travis Kelce, you know, that's another thing. And then her movie, that's another thing. And then you take the fact that she's been re-releasing all of her albums. So those have, it's just like it seems like every few weeks there's another kind of like feather in her cap that allows her to do another news cycle. So again, I think this is the year where even if you didn't like Taylor Swift, you probably listened to a bunch of Taylor Swift.
She definitely dominated my listening habits this year. Thanks so much for chatting with us, Devon.
Yeah, thank you for having me.